Good morning, all. We're on our continuing our quest for heavier gold. With the wet winter and the high water, and for the last I don't know how many months, going home with a little bit of flood gold, you can't gripe. You're going home with gold, but I got to be honest. I'm burnt out on flood gold. I would much rather go home with a couple of large chunks and take the chance of going home with no gold, and that's why we're here. This creek is pretty hard to get to, and where we're heading is really hard to get to. I'm gonna have to get wet. The water is down, so hopefully I don't have to get too wet. But the spot I want to go, I've been to, I don't know, half a dozen times over the last 30 years. And there's a lot of nice chunky gold. Not a lot of gold. Because like I always say, there's way more fine gold in the river than there is heavy gold. So the odds are we're either going to go home with a couple of chunks of gold, or we're going to go home with little to no gold, but I'm willing to take that gamble. Now, we're about halfway in, and the old guy needs a break. So I'm gonna get a drink of water, rest up a bit, and then we're gonna get to the fun part where I gotta get wet. We made it in, and yes, I did have to get wet. And I had to strip down to my underwear, and that water's cold. I didn't film that part, so you're welcome. Now, the spot we're at, as you can tell here, there's a lot of big rocks in here. Now, I think the source of the gold is just on this hillside somewhere upstream. I've looked for it for 30 years. I haven't found it yet, but I don't think we're too far from the old channel. Now, what my plan is, there's not a lot of exposed bedrock. There's a lot of big boulders. So we're gonna, any little crack, crevice, anything that gives us a squeak, we're gonna dig. And then we're probably gonna have to roll some rocks to get to as much bedrock as we possibly can. So I'm gonna get everything set up. Let's see if we can find some gold. Well, I've been detecting for I don't know, maybe an hour. And I've got a target here, a target there. Up there a little bit, I got a target. I got about, I guess, 5 targets located. So I got a real light one here and a fairly large one there. Let me show you what they sound like, so when we dig them up, we can figure out what they are. Okay, here's our first one. This is the real light one. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the larger target. Now that second one actually sounds like 2 targets to me. One, I'm going to say it's iron. I would guess it was iron. The other one sounds like a good target. This one right here, it's really hard to tell. It's either a really small piece of iron or a small piece of lead or gold. Okay, on this creek up this high, we don't come across a lot of lead. About the only lead I find is fishing weights, and they're few and far in between. I do find bits of iron though. So let's see what we got. That target was right in here somewhere. So we're just gonna get rid of the larger rocks, but we're gonna clean all this gravel up, and hopefully we're gonna find a little crevice down here. I'm just kind of using my fingers as a sifter. We don't have to worry about throwing away a big nugget because we know it's a light target. Okay, looks like we got a little crack opening up here. Okay, it's not so much a crack as it is like a little shell. Okay, let's check, see if we got the target. Okay, well, we no longer have the target here. Let's check the pan. Target's in the pan. So I'm going to run this down to the creek, pan it out. I'll be right back. Well, we're off to a good start. I got some gold. Let me show you. Better yet, I'll just pick it up and show you. Okay, it's a little small, but I'll show you. Okay, you can see here we got 4 little pieces. One really long, cool looking piece, and here's the one we can pick up. Well, that's not a bad start. You know, not a real big piece, but I can pick it up. And it's not flood gold, so that's a good start. Okay, let's see what we got in that next hole. Okay, we got the targets right in this area, and that piece of gold we found, those 4 pieces were right there, so I got a good feeling about this. Now, remember there's 2 targets, one right here and I think one right there. So let's go ahead and dig down, see what we got. Okay, now this is starting to look like a really nice crevice. Pull some of this lighter material back. Okay, we got some good packed gravel here. Take a quick check here, see if we got the targets out. Well, it sounds like we got 1 target in the pan and we still got 1 in the crevice. Now this is getting down into a nice packed crevice. I'm really liking this crevice. Gravel looks good, everything looks really good here. I'm kind of enthused about this one is still in here. Well, this stuff is really packed in here. I think I see a piece of gold. Yep, that's a piece of gold. Let me show you. It's right there. Okay, let's see if we can get that out of there. Oh yeah. That's a nice little piece. One thing that always drives me crazy, why only 1? You know, a lot of the crevices, you get 1 piece out and that's it. Why only 1? Okay, well, I'm gonna finish cleaning that crevice out. We'll pan it out and see what the target is we got in the pan. Okay, the spot where we got that nugget, there's no target there, but I don't know if you heard or not, but off to the side over here a little bit, we have another faint target. So I'm going to finish scraping that crevice all the way down and clean it in case there's any really small gold in there. And then we're going to jump over and see what this next one is. The funny thing is, a few minutes ago I was starving. I was ready to break for lunch and all of a sudden I'm not hungry. We got all the targets cleaned out of that spot in the pan, and we got a pan full of hopefully some nice gravel. Now I didn't see any targets when I was digging it up, so I'm not sure what we got here. But I'm gonna head down, pan it out, and the sun finally got on me and it got warm quick. So let's go pan this. Well, I might be getting a little too old to be doing this, because I just panned that down and I found this piece of gold. How I didn't see that when I was digging it out, I have no idea. But we got that and a piece of wire. And that's it. Not even a speck other than that. But I'm okay with that. Let me give you a close-up. Yeah, that is one nice little hunky piece. I can't believe I didn't see that. Okay, well, I'm going to give that thing one more after finding this. I'm going to give that thing one more going over with the metal detector. Make sure we got no more targets in that area. Well, that's it. I couldn't get so much as a squeak out of any of that area. So I think right now, I'm going to eat some lunch. Well, I still got a little bit of shade because it's getting warm real quick. Okay, I'll see you after lunch. Finished lunch and I went over everything here, and I found one little piece of wire, and that's it. So I think what we're going to do right now is pack everything up. We got a few more hours before we got to start hiking out of here. So we got to hike up the hill a bit and then drop over back down on the creek and do a little metal detecting up there. Now, I'm not real familiar with that area, so this is kind of new for both of us. I've been up there, but years ago. So let's pack everything up, go have a look-see. Went up the hill over to get down further upstream. Too much water. There's basically no shore. The water's still a little bit too high. I can see some bedrock further upstream, but without swimming, there's no way to get to it. So what I've done is I've worked downstream a little bit. I just started metal detecting back out of here. And right here, I don't know how well it's showing, but right here is a really nice crevice. And right here, I got a signal. Let me show you what that sounds like. Well, you can hear it's not a real large signal, but then this is a pretty good sized crevice. So it could be, the target could be down a ways. Okay, well, I'm gonna start digging on this because this looks like this one's gonna take a while. Okay, well, I got this crevice about, I don't know, half to 3/4 of the way dug out. Got a pan full of gravel, and speaking of gravel, this gravel is really good looking. All the gravel all the way down is nice, well worn, really heavy gravel. I really like the looks of the gravel. I have not checked this to see if I got the target or not. I figure I'll just take it down and pan it and see what's in here. I'll be right back. Well, I got that panned out, and I almost hate to say this, but we got some gold, but it looks a lot like flood gold. Let me show you. Okay, you can see across here, we got one that's a real flat flake. But we got a little bit of line of gold there. I'm gonna get this cleaned up with the snuffer bottle. Then I'm gonna check this hole with the metal detector and see if we got the target or not. Okay, well, I got this crevice cleaned out all the way down, and this thing goes down a long ways. That deep. But I no longer have the target in here. I got it in the pan. Got a pan full of gravel. Let's go down and see how we did. Got that panned out. Found our target, and our target is a chunk of an old nail. But we also got a real nice pan of gold. Let me show you. Okay, you can see there, there's our nail. Got a real nice line of gold there, and we got one piece here. It's a real nice chunky piece. Well, I think I'm going to end it on a good note because it's getting late. It's getting hot, and we had a nice little breeze, but it's down to next to nothing. And it's getting a little warm, and I'm almost out of water, and I still got a heck of a hike to get out of here. So the odds are, normally I'd say I'll see you at the truck, but I know by the time I get to the truck, I may be too hot, too tired. I'm going to get in the truck and turn the air conditioner on. So I'll see you at the house. Well, can I call it or what? We're back at the house. And yeah, it's the next day. Well, I got that gold all cleaned up, and the good news is it wasn't a real job to do it. There was a little bit of fine gold in there, but not much. All right, let's jump over here to the scale and see how we did. What I'm going to do here first is let's weigh the nuggets. This is that real cool one. 1.6 grams. 1.53 grams. And this should be the heaviest one. 1.84 grams. Okay, let's put it all together and see how we did for the day. And we came home with 6.14 grams. I don't know about you guys, but I love that chunky gold. We weren't that far from 1/4 of an ounce, so I'm calling that a really good day. And I'm heading back up there. I'm gonna give it a week, maybe 2, because there's still a little too much water coming down. But I think I'm going to head back up there, and instead of hiking over that hill, I think I'm going to take my wetsuit and just swim on up creek and see how we can do up there. And while I'm in there, I might even do a little sniping. Okay, well, that's about it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video and you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Hit that notification bell, that way you'll get notified when I put up another video. And other than that, I'm out of here, and you guys have a wonderful day.